Ah, okay. So it's right before that. If I go into here... Ah, Great Temple is locked. Alright. Alright, skip all of that.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no.
That... That... I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that time out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love, I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no!
Well, that was a lot faster.
That was not your fault. I'll have to let... and I...
Okay, so there's a hole. Dead body.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. And yes, no more shall you walk on eggshell. Yes. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe because the tyrant Sincus told you it was forbidden. My first act.
Ulpius to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you, my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in... Then... Okay, yeah, it is a G. Gan Eden. A jar. Julia to her captors Melilius and Claudia curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'll already be dead, because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all eternity. Ah, there it is.
On your best behaviour, I trust.
You cheeky little Sturkus. If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
I almost heard some of that.
Oh, don't mind me. I just live here.
I won't. Yo.
We're finally alone. We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the Golden Rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here? I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is, only I assume we failed, and you had to start over. Is that about right? If so, what happened? Pluto's name would you do that? Well, it seems you failed spectacularly. Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered and do better next time. Now, I assume you've sought me out again for a reason. Of course. What is it? Yes? What? An assassin? What are you talking about? Then what are you doing here talking to me? Why aren't you out there trying to stop him? You'd best go. Quickly. As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome and authorize his execution by your hand. Forthwith. Any way you can. Despite my weapons ban, it's been my experience one can always find a weapon if one looks hard enough. I don't believe so, no. It's not a crime to carry out the lawful order of a magistrate. Thank you. Please act quickly before it's too late.
Oh, I wish I You know, some people say it's the creation of an all-seeing God who's watching everything we do. But what kind of an awful, incompetent God would let my sister go missing on his or her watch? Oh, I'd say it to their faces if they had the courage to show themselves. Did you hear that? Curse you, you coward! Where is my sister? What do you have to say for yourself? No response. Nothing. That's what I thought. I'm telling you, this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or, like people are saying, it really is just a children's fable my father is exploiting to frighten us into behaving. I suppose we will. I trust you can see yourself out.
Haven't taken this path yet. Okay, so there are stairs, which means I am intended to come down here. Cash money, nice. How do I get up there to that chest? I doubt I have enough air control to jump down from above. Ah, right, the farm. Leeks, cabbages, and whatever that third thing
Don't
was.
you just love springtime? Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind? I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never gonna do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the election stitched up. Nobody's gonna take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me. I suppose you're right. I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life. Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know? Well, as much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Scintilla, Sentius's daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me. Well, it's a long one, and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it. I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted so fast I almost threw up. But by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young. It was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These Legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it. Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. Never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again. That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes. Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? Alright, see you around.
Alright, so that's 3 threads. And I think it was 3 that the quest marker mentioned. Speaking of which, I'm stealing your eggs. Can't talk to the goat though. Waterfall secret? Nope, invisible wall. Or rather, extremely visible wall. No idea how to get in there. Probably the last bottle of wine in the city. Well, it'll respawn. Huh, that's the exact same one as Thaumatus' chest. I mean, is that...
Vote for Malleolus for a free drink at my tavern.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I figured it out like 20 seconds after I got here. Okay, a poem by... Come on, let me... Okay, I have absolutely no idea how I'm supposed to scroll down. Prototype zipline. Well, I have the non-prototype now, so... Kabosh to Kabosh. I told Lucretia about the dreams I've been having, and she said it might help her divine their meaning if I wrote them down. It happened again last night. The man by the river was there, as always, his face shrouded in shadow from that peculiar ram headdress. Once again, he introduced himself as Curdy, and told me he dragged me from the river. He seemed to smirk as he said his name, as if it meant something I could not understand. Indeed, the name rings a bell, but I cannot for the life of me remember where I heard it. I do not think I will sleep soundly again until I know. Who is Curdy? is your final warning, sinner. Okay, well. Rufius. Got it. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh well.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river, and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but...
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
Something like that, but...
What if I die and go to Tartarus because they say I've been bad?
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
Thank you, Galerius. Thank you.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, alright?
Alright, Galerius. See you then.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived. You... Thank... What?
Where'd you go? Ah, there you are. Okay, so your bakery is here.
Shh, I'm hiding.
Oh, thank you then. Generous pinch of yeast, a pinch of salt, 2.5 cups of warm water, 1 pound of flour. Pour the water into a mixer bowl and dissolve the yeast. Add the flour to a separate bowl and gradually add the water and salt. Knead it until the dough is too sticky or floury. Cover the dough and leave in a warm place. Near the oven for an hour so that it rises. Bake until the crust is golden and allow to cool. And then backwards.
Shh, I'm hiding.
Alright, yeah, nothing else in here. Oh, hi.
I know what kind of person you are. Leave me alone.
Fine. Oh, do I still have that in my inventory? Flashlight, candle, letter. Yeah, plenty of that. Goose eggs, loaf of bread.
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it
okay,
wouldn't
so
be an issue.
the flashlight button is it. Okay, where was that other chest that had a note?
This area is private. Please leave.
Just a moment.
Ah, and I hear... Nice to talk.
Okay, I can't tell you who it was. Oh, hello, you're the one.
Greetings and salutations.
Wow, that's a good amount of money. Oh, and you walk away. Dang it, fine, whatever. Are there any statues in here? There is one. Okay.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design. I have traveled distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India, and never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail? Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps? Shh! Not so loud! What are you playing at? Have you not been told about the last attempt? Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story. Aha, you are witty. I like that. Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all. And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out. They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt, made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud. That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus. I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way. Nothing comes to my mind, my friend. Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate. Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands, until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The Golden Rule has merely brought it into focus.
In that case, maybe it is Demeter that's doing this. Since, I arrive at the shrine of Hearth and Home goddess of the Romans, which is probably the same one.
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing." Regrettably, I think you are correct, my friend. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act. Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not? My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum. You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all? I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree? Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best. A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself. I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa. Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am. Anything you like. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Now where's that other guy? I think there's a coin purse around here? Yeah. Okay, here's the temple that collapsed on me. Ah, dang. Ah, okay.
You look well, my sartorial friend.
That was the graffiti I was supposed to have noticed.
And
new face, Ave, and made... Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed? Yes, I also had such an encounter. What else? That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. What else? Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here? And did you happen to catch her name? I see. And was this stranger by any chance wearing a hood? Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
What? How could you know that? And why are you talking to me instead of doing something about it? Please, go and stop him, and come back to me once we're no longer in danger.
I'm afraid this area is private. I must ask you to leave.
Let me just, okay. That is the, note I've already read.
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above? That was either extremely reckless or impressively clever. Well, why have you risked life and limb to see me?
Ah, okay. You are the guy.
Of course not. But as I always say, if Sentius can't protect his daughter, how can we trust him to protect this city? Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Domitius says he saw a body there some weeks back. Of course, just to be clear, I take no responsibility for what happens to you down there. You mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants? Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie? The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the Golden Rule is real? Nonsense! There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already. What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer. Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read, as if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down? I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish. True, but that is simply because you are mistaken. I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it. I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today. I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny. By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule, it's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. I trust you can see yourself out. Through the door this time. There's a key just beside it.
Alright, so where's the white? other person mentioned their existence.
Still here?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm trying to figure out where anything that I might want is. Nope, nothing.
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Ugh. Okay, there we go. Quick save. Oop, yep, there it is.
Kill me. End it.
Alright, doesn't look like this is actually doing any damage. Need to find a weapon.
What now?
Okay.
Whatever.
Looks like it's getting to be evening. Oh, right. That's the bathhouse, so I should probably not go there. Arrows. Ah, there you are.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. No idea what you're talking about? Yes, so what? What are you going to do about it? And why should I? The one true God says that for man to lie with another man is an abomination. His presence here is a threat to us all. Well, I don't know. Maybe God hasn't noticed yet. But when he does, we're going to have a problem. Well, I wouldn't get so angry if he wasn't so... you know.
attractive.
I don't like where you're going with this. You'd better take that back before I make you. I have no idea what you're talking about. And unless you want your jaw broken, I think it's best if you don't ever talk to me again. I have nothing to say to you, Kaput Mada.
Yeah, it was worth a shot. Okay, alright, check that one. Well, probably ought to talk to the one who's up here. Oh, she's already gone. Okay. Alright, this is probably the fastest way.
Thank you. Thank you. I am right in bed.
That's not it. Where are you? Where are you?
Fear is proof
Are
of a
they?
degenerate mind.
Yo,
What is it, citizen?
I'm not a citizen.
What business is that of yours? A lot of people have been looking for her. But it's been 3 weeks, and we've found nothing. What makes you think you can do better? I suppose that's true. Scintilla was always a kind, well-behaved young woman. I admit, her disappearance really caught me off guard. If anyone knows something, I'd expect it to be Sentia, Malleolus, Claudia, or Domitius. But none of them will tell me anything. You might fare better though, I suppose. Fine. Alright.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Hi.
Feeling all right? That's...
Okay. Not you. That's the shrine. That's the baths.
Fortune smile on you, brother.
Ah, there you are.
Let...
Dang it. Can't start
Hello?
the election.
Fortune
My friend
smile on you,
Hannibal
brother.
used to look after me. He said he gave all I no. Bye-bye.
Stop right there. Thank you. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live for now, but you'd best make sure our paths don't cross again.
extra heal? No, okay. Alright, only have so much time before that assassin takes him out. Nothing. Okay, so coming in here was completely worthless. Right, where's that priestess? The assassin has been dealt with, in that he is no longer in front of the bathhouse. But he's also right there.
Who might you be?
The name's correct, yes. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through him.
Then go through you, I shall.
It's real!
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
What now?
Dang it.
Everybody run!
Okay. Loot all the chests. Then turn on the...
Oh. Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Is that still in my inventory? It is. Okay, good.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far? That's good, in a sense. If you're not on... Well, we've all... I still... Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but... things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our Emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions. It was horrible. Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. The many shall... I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbours as ourselves, and do to them as we'd have them do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin. And that's where I get stuck. Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin? You don't think that's a little naive? I suppose you've never seen what I've seen. Innocent men and women, torn apart in arenas while thousands of Romans look on and cheer. I wish I shared your faith. I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors, but if you're desperate and wealthy, you could look into it, I suppose. If that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until the gods decide our fate. Oh, I see. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I'm sorry I even suggested it. I won't make that mistake again. Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose. Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome 7 months ago, my family and I fled for the Tiber, hoping to escape on a barge. We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people, and they boarded before we could depart. A scuffle broke out, and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water, rising up to hit my cheekbone. I woke up by the river, near that shrine, and stumbled across this place. Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me. Oh yes, of course. A slip of the tongue. If you like. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what?
That's the...
What?
Why do...
I know. Please.
I'm sorry.
Please, help. I don't know. Thank you.
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone. Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over. It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact, and she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her. I can't do that. Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts. No. No. Time's up. I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! Well... I'll have... and I...
Ah, well, I guess I have to get the money first. Come on, where's the zip line? There we go. Yeah, funny. How much do I have? 1,500 almost. So, one or two more loops and I'll have the 2,000. so you're going down that way.
Oh!
Ow.
Welcome. Feeling all right? Of course. There. That's a...
Sorry, was there something... Our priestess, Equitia, once told me it's the god's way of creating a city without sin. But if that's the case, then whichever god is responsible for it didn't think it through. I mean, all it really does is make bad people better at hiding their sins, and good people too frightened to stand up for themselves. I've seen Malleolus, Claudia, and Domitius make grown men cry. Romans. They don't cry easily. They've never physically hurt anyone. But the point is, they don't have to. They've got people running scared because everyone knows Malleolus is the favorite to win today's election. I doubt it. I mean, the election is today, and you've only just arrived. I just don't think there's enough time for you to do anything. I suppose we will. All right. Goodbye.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Ah, a fellow traveler. My friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well. Ask me what you will. I hope that our...
Ah, a new face. I hear we have... Nice to talk.
Salve, stranger. Malleolus. It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk. Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet. Thank you, friend. I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking. Oh yeah, gotta watch out. Old Dacius has got your back though. You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale. Alright. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done. Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl, if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber. Naturally, I dived in after it, hoping to salvage my fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin. Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here. Very well. Another time.
Alright, avoid that. Avoid you. That. Not there. Oh wait, yeah, there is a chest in here. Give me that. Oop. Ow. Well, good thing I got healed before doing that. And I think that's all the chests that I know the location of. Okay, you're not in here. Where are you? People in there moving around.
Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want? I trust you can see yourself out.
How would you even get to that second floor? Ah, stairs. Of course. And there was nothing up here. I probably already checked that.
On your best behavior, I trust?
And nah. Can't jump on that. Ah, there's a chest. Gonna have to put that into the rotation. Okay, no, it's a one way from that. Ugh. Okay, so I managed to get onto this roof, but there's nothing up here, so it was pointless. Ah, right. One of these rooms has a
Cerberus
note
lifts
that I
his
haven't read.
dribblehead and lets out his threefold rayon.
Livia.
Hmm. Okay, so that's a new thing. This is Olivia's shack. How are you bronze / copper?
I love your clothes. So exotic. You stay away from my money.
What money? Oh, it's locked anyway.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Alright, that's a good amount of cash. Cool. So much lag. Got this one. Oop. Oh, hello. I think I got a stealing stuff achievement. Maybe 2 of them. Because what I can read from the other monitor is Klepto. Kleptomaniac, maybe? And also Grave something. Steal 2-0, I think. Anyway, I've got enough money.
Oh. Yuli. I'll go.
Anyway, stealing that cash means that I've got enough for the whatchamacallit, bounty. Bondsman? Dead. And hopefully, Priestess is gonna be in the actual place when I get down there. Okay, nope. Maybe I need to get Demeter's blessing before I can cross that. Ugh. Have to try this again. Ow. Alright, it was chip damage, it's fine.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you?
there you are.
A new face, Arve. It'll be... Why? As I said, I'm yes. I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well. I'll get things started right away. Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
Time to go to the theater.
Yeah, well, I'm here. I should probably read that note. Today I'm celebrating I made the easiest 1,000 denarii I've ever made by selling a way out to a desperate fool. Of course it may not have been the way out she was hoping for, but hemlock still counts. That'll teach her for insulting my hair. And since it didn't break the golden rule, I may have to try this again sometime. Dear Diary, it worked again. I'm now another 1,000 denarii richer thanks to Opus and his desperation to escape. Of course there's very little to spend money on here, but just having it gives me a little thrill. For a brief moment at least. Finally, I have something to spend my money on. Maolius is running for magistrate in the election tomorrow, and he's promised that for a sufficient tribute, I'll be able to move into old Sentius's villa once it's vacated. How he plans to achieve that, he wouldn't say, but still, I'd better make sure he wins. Yeah, well, I'm here.
Help! What?
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential votes. Plus,
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and Marcus Malleolus Gurges. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Malleolus.
Dacius.
Malleolus.
Galerius.
I abstain. I'm just here to observe.
Virgil.
Malleolus.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
And finally, Domitius.
Malleolus. Who else?
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Marcus Malleolus Gurges.
Hail, Magistrate Malleolus. I said, hail, Magistrate Malleolus. That's more like it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. And now, I make this solemn promise to you, good citizens. Under my leadership, you will finally enjoy the freedom you deserve. No more shall you walk on eggshells, fearing simply to live and breathe, because the tyrant Sentius told you it was forbidden. For my first act as magistrate, I hereby announce a day of celebration to mark the end of an era. The myth of the Golden Rule is no more.
The Golden Rule is real, you idiot.
For his attempt to deceive us all, Sentius is hereby found guilty of treason against the Empire.
What? I have committed no crimes. This is madness.
His sentence: to fight for his life in gladiatorial combat against Domitius, here and now for your entertainment.
You have no idea what you're doing. You're going to get us all killed.
Wait. I exercise my right as a Vestal priestess to pardon him. I will not allow you to do this.
You're showing your true colors now, priestess. Your corruption sickens me. Domitius, ignore her. Proceed.
This is insanity. You'll doom us all.
Lies! It is time the Golden Rule was exposed for what it is. A children's fable, exploited by a treacherous leader to instill fear in all of us.
This is why he's in his gladiator gear. They've been planning this all along.
Shut up, all of you. The magistrate has spoken. I'm going to enjoy killing you, old man.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Well, that was quick. I don't think anything actually happened. So maybe someone else was doing something while the election was going on. Anyway, call it there.